So many of you don't know this, but I'm actually a professional artist. So I'm a painter. So I want to talk to you about something I was kind of sitting with God on this morning, because a lot of us are impatient. And there's one thing that makes a painter a really good painter versus a mediocre painter, and it's not their talent, okay? You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're impatient and you want to get something done in a hurry instead of waiting until it's perfect, waiting until the proper time, you are going to fail. So when you're painting, sometimes you have to paint in multiple layers, which means you can't get it all in one layer. So you have to wait, you have to let it dry. Sometimes you have to go back and add fine details at the end. Sometimes, you can only do so much painting in a session, and you have to come back with fresh eyes and look at it again. So we are God's masterpiece. And the redemptive process happens at a rate at which God determines, because God knows what you can handle, how much of it you can handle, and when you can handle it. So a lot of times when we're dealing with other people, we want them to just hurry up and get over your trauma, hurry up and get over your pain, hurry up and start acting right, but it doesn't work that way in the spirit. So what we've got to do is be willing to give them the time and the space that they need to become who they are in God, so that we can actually help them to become who they're supposed to be. The only way we're going to do that is if we're taking that time to allow God to work on them. It's not about you giving them the words and then that's going to fix it. There's an internal process that has to happen. Understand that when we're dealing with people, we're dealing with the changing of the mind. The changing of the mind is not an easy thing to change, because we get set in patterns. So even when you're painting, if you want to be a good painter, you can't get set in a pattern. You've got to begin to let God guide you. You've got to do everything a different way. Sometimes you're going to paint one way, and sometimes you're going to paint a completely other way. So you have to be willing to sit with God and allow God to guide your hands. And especially when we're dealing with people, salvation is a process, and it's a long-standing process. Redemption is a process. It does not happen quickly, y'all. It happens over time, and that time might seem like quickly if you're not impatient. If you're impatient, it's going to seem like it's taking forever. But what doesn't seem like it's taking forever when we're impatient?